Okay, guys, we'll get started with AML3D, which is an upcoming IPO. We've got Sean Ebert, Executive Director, who's going to provide an overview of the company. Just because the company's still in an offer period, we can't actually take any questions that are going to obviously impact that. So I'll just, if there's anything that sort of is at a higher level, more on the industry, then that's okay. But if there's any specifics, we'll just have to be careful around that. Sean, I'll throw it over to you. Good luck and thanks very much for your time.
Okay, thanks, Simon. First of all, good afternoon, everyone. My name's Sean Ebert, Executive Director for AML3D. I'm really pleased to be presenting today, in particular to a few familiar faces and to some new ones. So thank you for your time. So AML3D specialises in large-scale 3D metal printing of commercial parts using proven wire arc additive manufacturing technology. We hold all major certifications and we're the only globally certified wire arc additive manufacturer on Lloyd's Register. So what this means is our clients can put our parts into commercial operating use. WAMSOFT is our proprietary intellectual property which combines metallurgical science, software and robotic technology to produce large-scale, free-form 3D metal printed commercial parts. Our main manufacturing facility is located in Adelaide, Australia, and is currently being relocated to a larger premises to support our growth. And with the use of funds, we will be establishing a presence in Singapore, mainly to be closer to our clients there. Our technology is disruptive to traditional manufacturing processes such as subtractive, casting and forging methods. In particular, we deliver less waste, faster production at a more cost-effective price compared to traditional methods. So a good example is one of our clients who currently buys a 1-ton aluminium billet and machines that down to 300 kilos for his finished part. We can 3D print that and deliver that to them utilising 100% of the wire feedstock with zero waste. In relation to the board, we have a very strong and balanced board with extensive industry experience across all the main markets that we operate in. Firstly, Stephen Gerlach, former chairman of Santos, Elders Equatorial Mining, who brings the corporate governance, listed company experience and industry networks. Andy Sales, our managing director and the founder of AML3D with 25 years experience in welding technology within the oil and gas sector, and also happens to hold a double master's degree in engineering and metallurgical science. Myself, former global director for M&A for Worley, and the former CEO of a number of engineering and technology services businesses. I've been working closely with Andy over the past 12 months in an executive director role, mainly to support the build out of the executive team and more so the operating capability of the company. Kevin Reid, former partner of PwC and BDO, head of our Audit and Risk Committee. Len Piro, former CEO of Department of Industry and Trade. And Christine Manuel, our company secretary and chair of the Governance Institute. So in relation to the market outlook, the market growth in general across all additive manufacturing is on a steep rise. It's mainly due to these technologies being commercialised and being adopted by the market. This is seen by the estimates or estimated sales moving from about 16 billion in FY20 to around 35 billion in FY24. The growth is well supported by the demand mainly from major industry manufacturers, which is in their interest to move closer towards leaner and more cost-effective and more efficient digital manufacturing available under the Industry 4.0 initiative to maintain their competitiveness. In this current challenging climate, we see opportunity. We really do see opportunity to provide our customers with a solution to take that next step in digitising their manufacturing and finding a better cost-effective way forward. So what is WAM? So WAM combines metallurgical science and software to effectively create robotic code in order to produce large-scale, free-form 3D metal printed parts. In simple terms, we take an AutoCAD file of a part, and through our extensive libraries of metallurgical properties, our WAMSOFT, proprietary WAMSOFT technology converts that into code and utilises robotic technology to produce the part. It's important to note that using wire feedstock, we sequentially layer molten metal based on the art of knowing exactly what the required feed rate is and bead size based on the alloy. And secondly, understanding the geometric orientation of where to start and where to finish. What this does is we produce, firstly, very high structural integrity to our parts. And secondly, most importantly, consistency and repeatability is required, which we deliver, which is the reason why we have received certifications by all the main certifying bodies, and our customers have commercial parts in place. So a bit of a show and tell on the Panama CHOCK. So what is a Panama CHOCK? This sits on the top deck of a ship, and they tie a rope around it when the ship comes into dock. So typically one ship would have 4 to 6 of these on the top deck. This is one of the largest by weight 3D metal printed parts in the world, printed using a carbon steel alloy. It weighs in at 1.2 tonnes and has 50% greater structural integrity compared to traditional manufacturing methods. This part is actually for a commercial client based in Singapore in the marine sector. It's been certified by DNV under Lloyd's certification. It's been delivered to the customer with a view of becoming a recurring part for their end clients. In relation to certifications, and we do feel that this is really one of our core strategic advantages. We hold the main global certifications for wire arc additive manufacturing. So as mentioned previously, we are the only globally certified wire arc additive manufacturer certified by Lloyd's Register for the marine sector. And this was a real turning point for the business back in 2018 as the reason, and is the reason why we have quite a concentration of customers within the marine sector, in particular in Singapore. ISO 9001 certification provided us with the entry into the aerospace sector and opened the doors for us to engage with our global aerospace customers. And we're fully compliant with the American Welding Society standards for the production of parts using additive manufacturing, which has also opened the door to the US market for us. And it really is important to know that without certification, these parts can't be put into operating use. And that's the reason why we put all this in place. In relation to our target markets, we focus on 4 main industry sectors, so marine, defence, aerospace and resources. A typical list of parts we have produced and can produce listed below. These main industry sectors really play to our strengths, and it is where we've seen the greatest demand in these sectors to move towards adopting additive manufacturing. And I'll talk to this further in a minute. So our business model is a simple model with 4 core revenue streams. The first is contract manufacturing. So this is typically traditional subcontracting of manufacturing of parts for our clients. It's mainly a direct to market as it involves a fairly high degree of technical knowledge and experience. The second is the sale of a complete ARCEMY system, which is typically for customers that are looking to insource the technology and have that internal demand and capability to manage the process. So moving forward, access to this market is typically going to be through appointed distributors and resellers. Thirdly, annual licensing, maintenance and support fees, which is a percentage of the total capital value of the sale of an ARCEMY unit. And lastly, fourth, the sale of consumable wire. So in order to maintain the certification of the ARCEMY system, the integrity of the supply chain needs to be maintained. So the sale of certified wire feedstock for an authorised reseller, which we are one of, is required. And there are literally hundreds of readily available wire alloys in the market as it's based on commonly available welding wire. In relation to contract manufacturing services in particular, as mentioned previously, we have a concentration of clients in the marine sector, mainly as a result of the certification with Lloyd's. In addition, we have a range of clients that we currently engage with across all the other sectors. To put a bit more to that, there's generally 2 speeds of clients. So the first speed are marine and resources, which tend to have shorter sales cycles, and they're looking to replace and substitute their existing manufacturing parts providers. This is base business for us. The second is aerospace and defence, where the parts are often higher value. For example, using aerospace grade titanium with longer sales cycles, of which we've taken a position in these sectors and have a medium-term view as to where these markets will be adopting this over the course of time to add additive manufacturing into their supply chain. With all clients, it's a very structured and defined process. The first is the production of the part, followed by destructive testing and certification, then followed by substituting these parts into their catalogue for ongoing orders. It's really important to note, though, that our clients engage us to produce commercial parts for commercial use. We're typically not engaged for internal R&D projects given the maturity of the technology. In relation to key growth objectives, phase 1 growth objectives are complete, which include obtaining relevant certifications, establishing the Australian operating facility, first sale of ARCEMY unit into Singapore, and having repeat contract customers. Phase 2 following the IPO is the establishment of a presence in Singapore, the expansion of the Adelaide facility, and establishing sales channels for the ARCEMY system. And thirdly, extending our business into the US markets and expanding the distribution channels globally. So in relation to the investment offer, we are pleased to say that the offer has been oversubscribed and we've had wonderful demand from institutional and retail investors. With an enterprise value of 15 million, notwithstanding the prevailing market conditions, I do believe this represents good value to our investors. The capital raise is to deliver the following: establish underlying earnings model from sales and licensing, accelerate the sales of ARCEMY, capitalise on Tier 1 Singapore and ASEAN customers, and also improve margins by just being closer to those end customers. In relation to the use of funds, with the combination of the cash on hand and capital raised, 4.3 million will be deployed in a measured approach to establish a presence in Singapore, to expand and be closer to our existing and new customers. 2.8 million for the relocation and expansion of the Australian facility. 0.4 for the development of an automated integrated CNC machining capability to operate in parallel with the existing 3D printing production process. 2.1 million for working capital and 1.1 for the cost of the offer. So on the capital structure, the offer price of 20 cents per share, issuance of 45 million shares under the offer to raise 9 million. The options on issue largely relate to the 2-for-1 pre-IPO offer plus board and management, and with an enterprise value of 15 million at listing and a market cap of around 25 million. So on the timetable, cleared funds and offer to close late March. Quotation of company shares on the ASX targeting around mid-April. And look, just in closing, I'd like to thank you for taking the time today to hear what I believe is a very exciting time in our business. We have commercial customers right now and ready to produce commercial quantities of parts for them. We look forward to your ongoing support as the business continues to deliver on its plans. Thank you.
Awesome, thanks, Sean. Obviously, we're mindful in terms of the prospectus period, so we haven't sort of pushed for questions. But if there are any questions that do come through, feel free to share them my way, and we'll get them answered at a point which we can. But there'll be much more to hear and read on AML3D in coming weeks as it gets closer to its formal listing date, and we'll be in touch with that as well. But thanks so much, Sean, for making the time. We really appreciate it.
All right, thanks, everyone.